This is a 3D printed shoe, and I'm going to attempt a 5-mile run wearing these.
Yeah, don't do this. Don't ever do this to yourself.
But hold on, did I just say 3D printed shoes? Because this is another 3D printed shoe. This is made with the standard PLA filament, and as you can see, it's rock solid. No bend at all. But this is the shoe I made with TPU, a special kind of filament that's softer and bendable. Now let's rewind a bit. Last year, Bambu sent me this new printer, the Bambu H2D. Now, it was new back then, it's not new now. But let me tell you, this thing is crazy and it does way more than 3D printing. Laser engraving, cutting, even forging my signature. Wait, what? So in today's video, we're gonna look at everything this printer can do. And by the end, we'll see if I can run those 5 miles. Get your copy ready. Let's print. Okay, so let's talk about what's so special about this printer, besides the fact that it can print shoes, which is honestly pretty cool. But Bambu Labs was like, that's not special enough. Specialer enough. I said it right the first time. Now first, it's huge. This is the biggest 3D printer I've ever had. 325 by 320 by 325. And notice, this is sick. There's options for single nozzle and double nozzle printing. I didn't even know I needed that, but I did. We'll talk more about that later. And the nozzle speed is very fast, 1,000 millimeters per, is that millimeters? 1,000 millimeters a second, which is double my last printer, the Bambu X1 Carbon, which I bought myself, so I was tickled to death when Bambu Lab sent me this. Did I just say tickled to death? I feel like I'm 85. Now the hot end supports a maximum temperature of 350 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so you can use some high temperature filaments. And there's active chamber heating. So the build chamber can be heated to 65 degrees Celsius or 149 degrees Fahrenheit, which is great for drying out certain filaments. We'll also talk more about that later. And I mean, if I just scroll through their specs, there's a ton. But you know what? I'm not really a 3D printing YouTuber. Like, that's not my thing. I care more about, like, what can I do? If you want to nerd out on anything else, go see the 3D printing nerd. For me, I'm just like, let's do something. So I started my 3D printing journey on this thing. I kind of hated it. The Creality Ender 3. And this thing was fine. I built it. It took forever. It also took forever to print. And honestly, it did its job to get me hooked to the idea of 3D printing, but I'm like, there's gotta be a better way to do this. And I was right. Like, there's something better. I was Googling, what's the Apple of 3D printers? Bambu Labs came up, and I bought this bad boy, the Bambu Lab X1 Carbon. Game changer. And then I got this Bambu Lab printer. And this Bambu Lab printer. Well, they sent me these. I haven't even opened this one yet. But look at this. Compared to all these printers, this is the Bambu Labs H2D. Again, it's huge, but what do we need all that space for? And also, when they sent me this, they sent me a ton of other things. This is all stuff they just sent me. I'm gonna have to figure this stuff out. This gave me some Breaking Bad vibes, like what am I building here? Now I'm not gonna lie, all this stuff I'm like kind of overwhelmed, but also I have to play with it right now. But first we had to set it up. Bambu provided a quick start guide that made it pretty easy for my team to set it up. And yeah, I made my team do it. Because I have a team. And if you've never used a Bambu Lab printer before, here's how it works. This at the top is the AMS. This is what holds all your filament. And whichever filament you want to use, the AMS will send it through the single tube out the back and into the printer. This tube goes all the way into the extruder, which is actually what extrudes the filament while you're printing. Now, this model has a feature where instead of only having one extruder, you have two. And you can see there's 2 tubes going into it. And this means you can print multi-material prints much faster than ever before. And you can see there's a little latch that moves back and forth, blocking whichever nozzle is not in use. But there's a problem. Remember how the AMS only has 1 tube coming out the back? Well, as you can see, this 1 tube goes right into the slot for the right extruder, but what about the left? For the left extruder, you can actually attach a single spool to the side of the printer and feed it right in. And this allows you to do multi-material prints. All right, cool. Now what filament should we try first? Well, we have a lot to pick from. They sent me all this filament. I won't do a deep dive, but PLA is the most common. This hacker mask is made of PLA. It's actually glow-in-the-dark PLA. And then there's PETG. They gave us tons of different kinds of those. This one's translucent PETG, PETG. I'm gonna call it PETG. You can see through it. That's crazy. And one of their newer filaments is called PAHT-CF. This one is super strong filament. You can use it to print parts for your car. That's how strong it is. Although I'm not sure I want to trust that with a car. I don't know, maybe it's good. We didn't test that though. But we did use it to print these Sony camera covers, which we still use. So we have a lot to choose from, but since there are 2 nozzles, we can do both nozzles at one time. For example, we use orange PETG and denim PETG to create Crash Bandicoot. But so far we've just been talking about printing. It can do more than printing. By the way, Bambu Labs sent me this printer. They are sponsoring this video, and I tricked them into thinking that I'm a 3D printing influencer. I'm not. But anyways, thank you, Bambu Labs. Let's talk about lasers. This is one of the biggest and honestly for me, most unexpected feature on the H2D, laser engraving and cutting. So they gave us 2 modules, a 10-watt version and a 40-watt version. The 40-watt version is a little more powerful, but they can do both cut and engrave. Let's start with engraving. When I first got this printer, it was also when I had just gotten my new pug, Mochi. So of course, I wanted to make a Mochi dog tag, and it can just do that. Like, that's really cool. Now first, you have to know, lasers are dangerous. If you ever played with a laser pointer in class, you know that the teacher would yell at you if you shine in someone's eyes. You'll go blind. This is more powerful than that. That's why you shouldn't look at them. That's why the side of the glass of the H2D is green. So you can actually watch the lasers. This is the only time you can actually look at a laser. And it will automatically stop if you open the door. Safety. But there's another problem, and it's why we have this Breaking Bad scenario. Laser engraving creates a lot of smoke. So they gave us a ventilator. which was pretty intimidating. I don't know why I started coughing when I said ventilator. That was weird. This thing connects to the back of the printer and it filters out all the smoke so you don't have to breathe any of it in. It's a nice touch. Thank you, Bambu. And also they gave us this little kill switch button, which I kind of want to attach to everything now, like AI. AI should come with that button. Anyways, you can install this little kill switch, and anytime you want to force the printer to turn off, you just hit the button. And if you want to turn things back on, just give it a little twist. Now let's engrave something. We'll do the dog tag, but I want to build up to that. Let's do something easier. They also sent me a plank of wood, which is just so weird. I love it though. They sent us a lot of different materials. So we'll set this down on the printer, right on top of this little special laser engraving platform. And then you can take off the front cover above the print head and then slide attach the laser module right onto it. Lock it into place and plug it in. And now we can just use the software. I'm gonna have it engrave the NetworkChuck logo into wood, which is something I didn't really care about doing until now. Start, and it starts engraving. And look at that, like it did it. It's a laser engraved NetworkChuck plank of wood. How much wood could a NetworkChuck chuck? Yeah, I hate that. And then we did the dog tag. Look at that, Mochi! This is Mochi, by the way, if you've never met him. Now let's get to cutting. Now you can use the laser module for cutting, which lasers for cutting, that sounds fun. But they also gave us another tool that makes cutting a bit easier. It's the cutting module. This is very similar to install like the laser module. You just remove the front panel and slide the sucker in. But since it doesn't use lasers, you won't have to deal with smoke or the air tube, so you can take that off. It does have its own cutting platform, which is a little sticky, so the material stays in place. And now we can cut all sorts of things. They gave us vinyl, so we had to do that. We cut the NetworkChuck logo out and stuck it to this workbench. We cut the Linus Tech Tips logo and stuck it to our trash can. And you can even cut leather to build your own wallet. But the other crazy thing about this cutting module is that it has a pen attachment. We can hand our printer a pen and they can draw for us, which honestly feels weird. It's like, you can use a printer to print things, or you can use your 3D printer to draw things. And then we had it autograph a bag of coffee, which was a really roundabout way of me trying to get an autographed bag of coffee to one of my fans. I'm like, we could just do that. That'd be fun. But now let's get back to the shoes here. And we're gonna talk about TPU. This is a special kind of filament that's softer than regular filament. Like this right here is a regular PLA 3D printed cube. And this is a TPU printed cube. See how squishy it is? Now compared to PLA, which is like raw spaghetti, TPU is like cooked spaghetti. It's soft, and because of that, you can't load TPU through the regular AMS. It has to be done manually. So we disconnected the PTFE tube that goes from the right extruder to the 4-filament AMS, and instead fed the TPU through the bypass slot in the single AMS. Then we fed the TPU through the access port at the back of the printer. This allows TPU to be fed directly to the extruder. Now when we first tried this, the TPU bubbled and came out raw, so we had to go into research mode. And we realized our nozzle was set too hot. We were practically boiling the filament, so we lowered it to 215 degrees Celsius. That stopped the bubbling, but we were still getting some issues. So remember how I said the TPU is like soft cooked spaghetti? Well, it turns out just using that bypass port wasn't enough. Instead, we had to put the printer on the floor so that the TPU could be high up and go straight into the extruder. This took a minute to figure out. Thankfully, I have a team that spent a lot of time doing it while I just sat in here and sipped coffee. And that was it. My team started the print Friday night, and everything looked really good. But then over the weekend, I came by to check on it. The print had failed. Like, this was super frustrating because it takes so long and then it just fails. And after more research, it turns out we just skipped something in the documentation. It was an our fault kind of situation. Don't skip reading the instructions, the documentation, you have to read that. My team learned the hard way. Now remember how I told you the printer has a setting that lets you heat it to 65 degrees Celsius to dry out special filaments? Well, the TPU turns out to be one of those filaments that needs that. So we dried out the TPU, tried it again, and it worked perfectly. Documentation. And after all that, it turns out we printed the shoes in the wrong size. This really sucked, but to fix it, we simply cut out some soles of the cork material, and that made it feel fine. No, it didn't. I had to wear them.
I can't feel my feet.
Now it's time for the run. Can I actually run 5 miles in 3D printed shoes. I don't know, but I was optimistic. I'm like, this is new technology. Sure, it's gonna work first time. The shoes didn't quite fit right. The sole was cork, thin cork, and it was the middle of Texas summer, so it was really, really hot. That looked good, and I was ready. The first few miles were fine. No, they weren't. They sucked. It all sucked. By the end of the run, I was completely dead. My feet were absolutely killing me. But it got suckier as time went by, so it was less sucky in the beginning, and the suck factor went up. I honestly didn't know if I could finish this run. I crossed that finish line. I did it.
Yeah, don't do this. Don't ever do this to yourself. These are not ready for prime time. I can't feel my feet, but on the bright side, I think the shoes held up. Like, oh. So, they did not protect my feet, but they protected themselves. Haven't felt them since mile 3.
Do you need us to carry you home?
Yeah. Immediately when I started running, I got a rock caught up in here.
Oh, dude.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I had to stop and fish the rock out. So these are way too wide, but I probably can't run for 2 weeks now because of my blisters and my knees are probably jacked up now. And I did it. Take that, Mr. Beast.
I'm not gonna lie, this run sucked. It was the worst. I paid for this for a long time, but I finished. And I took those shoes off as fast as I could. Now, to their credit, look at the shoes. They actually did not come apart. They survived. And I have to wonder if they were the right size, because these were too big, and if we'd actually put a real sole in there, one that wasn't made out of cork, maybe the experience would have been better. So running shoes, probably not gonna be printing those anytime soon. But regular shoes, I would wear these around. And what this really is more of just a POC, a proof of concept for what we can start doing with 3D printers. If we can print shoes that some weird bearded guy who drinks a lot of coffee can run 5 miles in, what else can we do? Can we print prosthetics? I think the applications in medical technology could be very fascinating. Anyways, my feet hurt for a long time. Even 2 weeks after, I was still like, ow. But it was fun. And now we have this amazing printer that can print. It's got lasers, it can cut stuff. This printer can do anything. And this is not a comprehensive review, it's more like I think technology is awesome. And this printer is kind of a marvel for what it can do, because it can do anything, most things. Anyways, thank you to Bambu Labs for sponsoring this video and for giving me a 3D printer and letting me mess around with it. If you're looking to get into 3D printing, you should look at Bambu Labs. They made me fall in love with it, and I think it'll have the same effect for you. Anyways, that's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time. Hey, you're still here. If you're new here, I've started to pray for you, my audience, at the end of my videos. And yes, I said pray. I know, it's kind of weird, but I do believe in the power of prayer, and I genuinely love you guys, my audience. And I want to see you have amazing careers, fulfilling lives, and I want to pray for that. So, I know it's weird. Let's just go with it. 1, 2, 3, pray. God, I just thank you for the person on the other side of the screen, a member of my audience. I just thank you that they are here. I celebrate them, God. I just thank you that you created them and that they are awesome. Thank you that they are interested in technology, and I ask that this fire in them, this interest, would just grow. I ask in your name that as they walk away from this video, that they would turn this energy they have into something cool, productive. Like, let them do something amazing with it. Bless their careers right now, wherever they're at in their career, whether they're in high school or college and they're just now trying to figure out what it is. God, give them clarity. Or if they're in the middle of their career and they're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I advance, or how do I figure out what's next, or how do I keep up? Give them clarity, God. Bless them, bless their families, let their families be strong. Let them have rich time with their families when they do get a chance to get away from the computer screen. Bless them now. I pray for their careers. Just bless them indeed, Lord. I ask this in your name, Jesus. Amen. All right, I'll catch you guys next time.